Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Aphrodite Darling with a tutorial on these beautiful vintage waves inspired by Veronica Lake herself. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and go check out my blog. And if you want to see how to get this hair, keep watching. For this hairstyle you will need a hairbrush, a rat tail comb, setting lotion, pin curl clips, sponge rollers, the roll and go hair tool, optional, a vintage headscarf, pomade, bobby pins, and hairspray. So to start out, we will begin by brushing the hair out, just making sure that there are no knots in it, that it's ready to go, tangle free. Now we're going to section off the hair using a rat tail comb into 4 different sections. First, we are going to do the top section of the hair, or the bang section. Your parting does not have to be perfect, but I am pretty particular. And once you section that off, you can take your alligator clip and just pin that up there so it's out of the way. Now we're going to do the same thing with the side of our hair. Make that parting with your comb, twirl it, twist it up, and pin it with your alligator clip or a pin curl clip. Perfect, and now we're going to do the other side. Like I said with the top, they don't have to be perfect. But make sure that you do have a clean line just so you're not getting any hairs caught up in the middle so that you don't know which section they go in. And that looks great. Usually with wet sets I'll go from the top to the bottom, but this time we'll be going bottom to top. So use your fingers or a comb, whichever is easier, to section off the bottom layer of your hair. You can twist the rest up and secure it with a clip or a pin, whatever works best for you. So we're going to separate the hair into small sections and get it damp with your setting spray or water and pin curl it. I like to use this roll and go hair tool from Vintage Hairstyling, but you can just use your fingers to wrap the hair around so it makes a circle and then roll it down to the base of your head. Then we're going to take a pin curl clip and secure it to the head. It does not have to look perfect, but if it feels loose, you can see right here that I'm redoing it from the very beginning using the tool or your fingers and bringing it down to your head. For this setting pattern, all of the curls will be going away from your face. So on the right side, your curls will be going counterclockwise, and on the left side, your curls will be going clockwise, just so that everything waves away from your face. As you can see, it does take a little bit of time and a little bit of practice to get it right, and you're still not going to get every curl perfectly done on the first try, and that's okay. Just make sure that you dampen it well with some setting lotion, and make sure that all the ends are tucked under so that you're not going to get any weird fish hook type patterns on the end that's just going to turn your set into a bunch of frizz. And make sure that they're tightly pinned. If you do all that, you'll be totally fine and your set will turn out great. So for the next row up, do the same thing. Section, I'm going to turn around just so you can see kind of what I'm doing, sectioning the hair off with my fingers. It really does not have to be perfect to get a good pin curl set, and it really doesn't even have to be super uniform curls. I do really enjoy this roll and go hair tool because it helps keep the shape uniform, but you don't need it. You can just use your fingers, and if they're not perfect, that's totally fine. As long as the hair is rolled under, wet, and then it's dry when you take out the curls. Now that you're done with the second row, just keep going with as many rows as you need all the way up your head. If you have thicker hair, you may need more rows, and if you have thinner hair, you may need fewer. But just keep going, making sure that all the curls go away from your face, so counterclockwise on the right side of your head and clockwise on the left side, and you should be great. For those of you that don't know about Veronica Lake, she was born in the 1920s and was the star of many amazing films in the 1940s. She was known for her glossy, smooth blonde hair that she often styled in loose waves with a little peekaboo wave right by her eye that was known for being very beautiful and very alluring. She was known for starring in the film noir type movies as the classic femme fatale. Her hair really only added to that mysterious and sultry vibe that she was going for, and definitely captured people's hearts. As you can see, almost 100 years later, we are still trying to recreate her hairstyle. Once you're done with the back, it's time to start on the side sections. It doesn't matter which you start with. Here I'm going with the right side of my head, and we are going to divide that into 4 different pin curl sections. Again, I start at the bottom, and they're just going to go away from my face, so this side is going to be counterclockwise, same as the back really, using the roll and go hair tool or your fingers to bring it down close to your head, roll the rest of the way, and secure with a pin curl clip. Perfect. Then you can do the other one, and then the other two. So we're going to do that on the right side and then the left side. And now for the left side, rolling away from your face. Let's have another, just you. Time for the top. We're going to unclip it, brush it out, and use our rat tail comb to section it off into 4 different sections. We're going to be doing 4 different curls. If your hair is super thick, you could do 6 sections or 8 sections, but my hair is pretty standard, so we are just going to go with 4. So for this section, once you section it off into 4, you can do standing pin curls if you want. I choose to use sponge rollers just because they're easier for me. You dampen the hair, roll it around the sponge roller just like you would your fingers or the roll and go tool. Make sure that it's not too tight, roll it down, and clip, and you are all good to go. Then you do that same thing with the other 3 sections. This part is very important, as Veronica Lake was known to have very smooth, sleek curls. So you don't have a dent, make sure to loosen up the rollers, spin it around so the plastic bar is underneath your hair, and secure it with a pin curl clip or bobby pin, just so you don't have a huge dent in your hair, so we can look just like Veronica Lake. Before you go to bed, I recommend getting a silk or satin headscarf and tying it in place just so the curls stay and to minimize frizz. And now time to go to bed. And good morning. Time to take the scarf off first. And you might look a little crazy, but that's okay. And we're going to start by taking all of the pin curl clips out first. Leave the sponge rollers in for later. When you first take them out, you'll be looking a little crazy, and that's okay. Let's start by taking our paddle brush and just gently brushing out the curls, making sure that all the knots are out, all the tangles are out, and you can start to see that wave pattern taking place. Pin curls are tricky and you might think that you messed up, but just keep brushing. Now we're going to take our pomade. I like to use Suavecito. Get a tiny bit just so that your fingers are shiny, rub it between your hands and start working it through the hair. Make sure not to get too much at once or else your hair is going to be greasy and weighed down and disgusting. But just work a little bit through at a time to keep that curl shape. Now I like to take my Denman brush and brush through it again and use my hands and my fingers to shape the curl into that beautiful wave. If you look at Veronica Lake's hair, you'll notice that it was pretty straight for most of the hair and then she had a little bit of wave at the bottom. So that's what I am going for today. The pomade really helps with getting that shape down nice and sleek and should get rid of any frizz that you have in your hair. You can see here that I get more pomade, and that is okay. It's always better to build it up little by little than get too much on the first try and just leave your hair looking like a greasy mess full of product. Nobody wants that. Keep brushing and shaping until you feel satisfied with the curl, and then we are ready to move to the top. Start by removing these sponge rollers, taking care not to pull or stress the hair. If it tangles really easily, you know that you did the curls a little bit too tight, and to make them looser next time, they should come out pretty easily, just like you're seeing right here, and you should have some curls that look pretty similar to Shirley Temple. Now that we're done taking them out, it's time to use your Denman to brush it out nicely. Make sure to brush it up and away from your face and get some more of that pomade and start working it in. We're going to want even more pomade on this front bang section because that's the very important part that we want the beautiful little peekaboo wave that Veronica Lake is so famous for. Just like the rest of your hair, don't do so much all at once, but instead build it up little by little and work it in while the hair is up, just like I'm doing here. Now we're going to use our rat tail comb to make the parting section. Just like Veronica Lake, make sure that it was very straight and a very deep side part. Perfect. As most of you know, usually I like to tease my hair quite a bit, but Veronica Lake was known for having very smooth, very sleek hair, so we are not going to tease our hair for this hairstyle, but rather use your comb and start sculpting it back away from your face a little bit like I'm doing here and start brushing. To get that wave, you're just going to have to keep brushing until you see it start to come out. If you don't at first, just keep going. Took me a long time to get this one. Have your alligator clips handy, and as soon as you start to see that curl come forth, use them to pull the hair back like I'm doing right here, and then use the alligator clip to section it so that it comes forward. So with Veronica Lake as well, her peekaboo little swoop was down more near her eye instead of like a typical S wave that you'd see in vintage hairstyling. So make sure that it's not on your forehead, but rather more on the side of your head. It might take a few tries like you can see here, but you really do just have to keep brushing and just keep trying to sculpt with your hand because it will take some time. What I find helpful is to brush the hair back, section it with an alligator clip, and then use the comb to kind of brush the hair forward, just like I'm doing here. And as you can see, I kind of have that shape, and I definitely want to keep that S peekaboo little spot right there. So I'm going to take another clip and clip it forward so it keeps that, because that is what really sells the Veronica Lake look and gives it the whole shape that we wanted. Unfortunately, as with most vintage hair, you will have to fuss with it a little bit to get it to do exactly what you want. It will take time, but that is okay. Just know that after the peekaboo, as your hair goes down, it can be basically whatever the hair wants to be, because Veronica Lake did not have super sculptured waves. They were loose, they were free. She just had that nice little peekaboo, sleek on top, and then everything else just kind of did what it wanted. So as long as you have that nice little section, you are good to go. Use your clips, keep on clipping until you get the desired shape. I usually like to do 3 just so I have that nice wave right there, and then start spraying it with hairspray. Either light or firm hold, whatever you want, but smooth down the top so it's very straight, very sleek, and then you can brush through it a little bit more just so you have that curl on bottom. And you can readjust the pins if you need to, but don't put too much hairspray on at once. Just like with the pomade, you want to build it up in smaller sections. Now keep the hair in the clips for as long as you want to let it really set. Usually I would do my hair first and let it set while I do my makeup, but for the sake of the video, I did do my makeup first. As you can see, it is very smooth and sleek on top. If you're having problems with frizz, you can use a little bit of hair oil to smooth it down, but I don't feel that I have any problems with that today. So I'll just be doing one final little bit of hairspray, and then you can remove the clips. Just make sure to be gentle when you take out those clips so that you're not ruining any of the shape that you made. Look at that beautiful little peekaboo wave right by the eye. Looks perfect. To really make sure that this stays throughout the day, take a bobby pin and pin the hair back at the top, slide it under the hair so that it's not easily seen, so that it looks like your hair is just laying that way, but it really is secure to your head. If you want, you can also take another bobby pin and do the same thing where the hair goes back in from the wave. You don't have to, but I find that it helps the hair to really stay throughout the day in that nice shape. And now you are all done with that perfect Veronica Lake vintage wave hairstyle. You are now the femme fatale of the 1940s. As I said before, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if you like this, go check out my blog because I have lots more vintage content. Until next time, Miss Aphrodite darling.